The decision has been a surprise as well as not a surprise. Done with the prove it game. I don't need to prove to you why that's your law. The palace is quiet, but the tension is loud. Insiders reveal King Charles may have delivered a ruthless blow to Harry's kids, removing every trace of royal privilege. The fallout explosive. Harry's fury is growing by the hour. What really triggered this? Stick around and subscribe for more royal revelations. Windsor Castle has seen centuries of history, but what happened behind closed doors this time was something else entirely. A private meeting was called by King Charles, and expectations were low-key, just a quiet sit-down, but the atmosphere inside icy. Prince Harry arrived not as the beloved spare, but more like an outcast. He wasn't greeted by crowds or surrounded by family. The only two royals willing to stand beside him, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. The rest stayed away. As Harry entered the room, there was no welcome, no handshake, just a chilling stillness. Queen consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that. King Charles sat quietly, staring ahead, not saying a word. That alone sent a message. And then, instead of addressing his son, he turned slightly to the side, letting Princess Anne take the floor. You could feel it immediately. This wasn't going to be a heart-to-heart. It was more like a trial without a jury. Harry stood there already looking uneasy, sensing something massive was coming, but nothing could prepare him for what would unfold next. And the moment Princess Anne opened the folder in front of her, the tone was set, formal, final, and unforgiving. There's a certain kind of silence that doesn't feel calm. It feels like the air is being pulled out of the room. That's exactly what surrounded Harry as he stood frozen in place. Charles didn't offer a greeting or a glance. Up, and all these young feel nothing is ever happening, so of course they are going to get frustrated. And she didn't hesitate with a composed tone and no sign of emotion. She read from a royal document. Not a personal letter, not a heartfelt message, a decree, one that would hit Harry harder than anything he'd faced since stepping away from royal duties. Archie and Lilibet, his children, were no longer recognized by the crown in any official capacity. Stripped of all titles, no His Royal Highness, no Her Royal Highness, just Archie and Lilibet. Ordinary names in an extraordinary world. For Harry, the weight of that announcement landed visibly. Eyewitnesses described him as pale, stunned, like someone just had the wind knocked out of him. This wasn't just about his children losing titles. It was about losing their place in the family legacy, the royal story they were born into. Years of trying to stay connected through interviews, appearances, and statements suddenly meant nothing. No parent wants to hear that their child will suffer, that they will face extraord, and standing there alone with no Meghan, no children, no team, Harry couldn't spin it. The monarchy had drawn a hard line, and that line didn't include Archie or Lilibet anymore. Just when you thought things couldn't get colder, something happened that made the message even louder. Archie's birthday came and went without a single word from the royal family. No tweets, no Instagram post, not even a polite happy birthday from the palace's social channels. Total silence for a royal child. That kind of omission isn't normal. Even distant cousins usually get acknowledged. But this time, nothing. Meanwhile, other royal children like Princess Eugenie's son were featured and celebrated publicly. Safe to say that I come from a very different background than my incredible wife. It was clear this wasn't an oversight. It was a choice, a message, and not just to Harry, but to the entire world. Archie, despite being a royal by blood, was no longer part of the firm. Not in name, not in appearance, and now not even in birthdays. For Harry, who has always fought to ensure his kids had some connection to his past, this was heartbreaking. Sources close to the palace confirmed this blackout was no accident. It was strategic. a firm decision agreed upon by royal insiders who now see Harry and Meghan's children as outside the fold emotionally and officially. If removing the titles was the legal cut, the birthday silence was the emotional one. This wasn't just protocol, it was personal. And Harry, watching the world acknowledge everyone but his son, had to face a new kind of isolation. Watching your child be erased from a family he never chose to leave. Titles aren't just symbolic, they are valuable. And for Harry and Meghan, their titles were the foundation of their post-royal brand. And so I think for a lot of people, the biggest question was what happens now. From Netflix deals to podcast launches, the label of Duke and Duchess of Sussex has been stamped across nearly everything they've done. But now, the palace is done looking the other way. According to insiders, the couple has been issued firm reminders that they can no longer use any royal designations for public, commercial, or political projects. That means no more Duke of Sussex at the bottom of legal documents. No more Duchess of Sussex in press releases. It's done. This enforcement isn't entirely new. It was part of the original 2020 Sandingham Agreement, but the tone has shifted dramatically. Before it was a warning, now it's a rule backed by legal consequences. The reason the palace reportedly feels the couple has leaned too far into their former status, while simultaneously criticizing the institution, and they are no longer willing to let it slide. What this means financially is massive. Without the royal affiliation, their brand power drops significantly. For deals already signed, it's complicated. For future ventures, it could be devastating. This isn't just a name removal. It's a total brand reset. The message is clear. You can't leave the crown and still wear the crown's name when it suits you. And for Harry and Meghan, this crackdown may be the most damaging move yet. After Princess Anne finished speaking, the room stayed silent. No one looked at Harry. No one offered comfort. And then all attention shifted to Prince William. His response, one word, understood. He didn't ask questions. He didn't hesitate. He accepted the verdict like it was already written in stone. And in that moment, something became painfully obvious. A commitment to others. I think that's all been incredibly important to me. And there would be no reunion, no attempt at reconciliation. That one word didn't just signal agreement with King Charles's decision. It was a torch being passed, a quiet confirmation that William was fully stepping into his role as future monarch. No more Fab Four, no more shared spotlight. Harry, who once stood shoulder to shoulder with William through everything, now stood alone, frozen in place, watching his brother silently accept a future that no longer included him. For William, duty came first. For Harry, the heartbreak was unmistakable. There was no battle, no plea, just a silent understanding that one brother was moving forward while the other was being left behind. And that hurt more than any royal order, because this wasn't just about kings and crowns. It was about family. And Harry had just lost the one person he thought might still fight for him. I know that in the position I'm in, that's what's required of me to do. And I think as all this unfolded behind palace doors, one person was noticeably missing. Meghan not in the room, not on video, not even mentioned. Insiders say it wasn't due to illness or travel issues. Meghan simply chose not to attend, and that decision was allowed in its own way. While Harry faced the royal judgment alone, Meghan was reportedly back in Montecito, quietly focusing on next steps. Her absence wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. It sent a message. She no longer recognizes the monarchy's hold over their lives. And the royal family, they noticed. Princess Anne reportedly didn't speak her name. William didn't glance at the empty seat. King Charles, he never asked where she was. That silence confirmed everything. Wherever you may live in the United Kingdom or in the realms and territories for the monarchy, Meghan's absence wasn't disrespect. It was rejection, a refusal to play along. And in return, they drew their own conclusion. She's out permanently. But insiders warn, don't mistake silence for surrender. Meghan is known for strategic timing, and when she chooses to speak, it won't be quiet. Still, in that room at that moment, the silence cut deeper than any statement. Harry was alone, and the woman who once fought beside him had stepped away, perhaps for good. What started as a private royal matter is now drawing national attention. Reports indicate members of Parliament have voiced concerns over Harry and Meghan's continued use of royal branding while living a commercial lifestyle abroad. The issue, it's no longer just about etiquette. It's about legal clarity. Lawmakers are said to be considering actions to reclassify Archie and Lilibet as private citizens. So it's been complicated. No titles, no royal designation, just regular children in the eyes of British law. This move isn't meant to punish. It's meant to eliminate confusion. The monarchy is a public institution, and allowing blurred lines could lead to deeper issues, especially if the Sussexes continue to appear as unofficial ambassadors. By having Parliament involved, the Crown is doing more than just severing emotional ties. They are chiseling boundaries into law. This step makes the separation legally irreversible. And once Parliament moves, there's no going back. It's not just a message anymore, it's policy. And for Harry, it means the bridge to the monarchy isn't just burned. It's being dismantled piece by piece. As Harry left the meeting, it wasn't just a family rift he was walking away from. It was a total collapse of the brand he and Meghan had built post-royalty. The British royal family, backed now by government channels, has drawn the line. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not in tabloids. I didn't get it. So it's odd the Sussexes are no longer permitted to imply royal approval in any form, from charities to media projects. That means no titles in press kits, no photos in royal settings, and no subtle branding that connects them to the crown. Let us know in the comments. Do you think the royal family went too far, or was this the only way to protect the crown? And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button now. The next royal move is coming, and you won't want to miss it.